Like I said,
We probably have a couple more coming in from
it's crazy. The tribes,
Leonos. They were six. Yeah.
It's all key to that. What's what I did.
Yep. So, just so everybody knows, if everything works, we're going to be live streaming. Okay.
Everything works, we're live right now.
We're live streaming right now. We're on a YouTube live stream. Okay. So this month. Well, your video. I don't think you're on video, are we? We don't. So listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. We're not doing the video of the room. Now we will be in the future. We'll have a camera on the room and we'll have a camera on the presenter. But today we only have a microphone for the room. So this mic will pick up this whole room just like you're standing on top.
So I can tell Tom he can watch it all.
So, yeah.
We had a meeting.
And I sent everybody out the link so they can go back and watch it too. That's nice because it's automatically recorded. I know that's riveting TV, YouTube content, must see TV.
You can see the value of it.
I was going to say it's important.
Yeah, and when we did it before as a test, we had some interest, so that's good. Okay, meeting is called to order. We'll have hopefully a couple more show up. I don't have a ton on the agenda. I don't know how you weigh an agenda, but I don't have a ton on there. So hopefully it'll be pretty light work. We'll start out. We do have our standing updates. Our standing update list keeps growing. I don't know if you remember, we added a safety topic. So Keith's got a safety topic as a standing thing this month. We'll try that out. Mr. CJ.
Yeah.
Treasurer's report. Forgot about that, huh? Okay. We have money. Yeah. When you use your phone for everything else, then your phone can't be used for anything else. Yeah. Okay. So if you're in doubt, ask CJ later when he's not streaming. Okay. That's good enough. Events and activities. Miss Trudy, I put this up. You had one new. You had this. You got this date now.
Yes. Bianchi's Restaurant, December 19th, Friday.
Friday at
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay. So
I asked for.
That's a regular meeting day.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right. It is.
Yep, it is.
So that works good. Thank you. 19th. We'll put the dates on here. We'll get them in. CJ's got this list that he's been publishing, and I never got it. We had the dates. I just left the names. So we'll get the 19th tagged onto that. That's good. I want to talk about this one in just a little bit. The November thing. We don't have anything. That's fine. That's okay. And then in a little bit, I've got a special slide to talk about a slot just for the fox hunt. Okay. So we'll do that in a minute. Anything else, Trudy?
No.
Okay. Very good.
They'll take us through the end of the year.
Tech and education, Mr. Carl.
Well, tonight we have Mr. Keith that's graciously going to do a POTA talk for us.
Yep.
Which I'm looking forward to because I've done a lot of field portable, but I haven't done POTA
Me
yet.
neither. I got an account.
I'm no account, so
I hear no account. I did. Keith, you gonna talk about hunting? POTA hunting?
We'll talk about both.
Both? Okay. Because I've done the hunting.
Now, the thing is, I talked to the photo for 3 hours.
Sure.
So I'll just show some resources.
Good enough. And then we did do the poll, okay? We completed the poll where I sent out multiple emails, asked for multiple things about what are you interested in. And are you willing to do a presentation? I've got all that information. I think we have a pretty good list. I haven't done it yet. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I haven't done it. I'm going to get that list to Carl, and he's going to run with that list. And then we did do the. So I did get some pretty good feedback, I think, for Tech Talks. So we can review that when we get it all together. But I think that worked out pretty good. A lot of times on those, especially emails where I ask for ideas, you know how that works, you know. But this time around, for some reason, it actually did work pretty good. So we'll keep it at that. MCOM. Huh.
We do have interest in setting up a remote digital digipeater.
Digipeater. If you're interested in what that is, you can look that bottom line here. This is the guy's channel, AM6LY radio. He's got some information on that. That's the title of the video right there. We'll make sure and get that information in the meeting minutes. But this is not FL Digi. This is not FT8. This is a little repeater, something like APRS, what we've been playing with. But what it allows you to do is from using your radio, using a computer, you can use this digipeater and log into like a bulletin board and share messages. You can send emails from radio to radio. You can do all sorts of things offline without the internet. It's just a radio and a computer. And this thing, you can take these. What this guy did, he used an ammo box, right? He used one of the plastic ammo boxes, I think. Yeah. And he put a radio and a little computer, and he stuck an antenna up, and he stuck it back up on the hill, and he had a solar panel. And it was totally off grid, and he beaconed out, did all sorts of things. So it was kind of interesting, and we're gonna look at doing that.
Yeah, it does it on the APRS protocol, but it will give you the ability to put a digipeater where it would be really hard to put a voice repeater or anything else because it uses such little power.
So in theory, I mean, it's kind of thing we're talking. If I were to put one up at my remote site, Carl put one up at his, up in
back of the farm
up on high ground. CJ put one up. Then in theory, you could have a coverage area that would cover pretty much the whole county. And should everything go down, you should be able to communicate with bulletin board messages.
So it works like a repeater.
It works like a repeater, but for a computer. You're logging in computer to computer using the radio.
What?
The radio. You're not using internet, you're using the radio to do it.
I'm using my smartphone to do over APRS.
Yeah. And we can present all that.
Yeah.
We can kind of get into more
Just
of that.
give you some ideas.
But I mean, that's one of the things from the MCOM perspective, the ability to communicate and store messages and say, hey, Danny, I don't know where you are, but when you get over here, come see me. You know what I'm saying? And you log in, get your messages, that kind of thing. Or share files, share a map. I mean, whatever. But you use the computer, connected to your radio, log into this digipeater and share information. And you can even run a chat room. Now, I'm not 100% sure why you do that, because you can just talk to each other. But you could do that. It seems kind of funny to have, but and say it always makes sense.
But what kind of expense was going to incur?
Yeah, what we're looking at, the solar probably the most expensive part of it, but everything else, I'd say $100 you can get in. It's not a lot of money. Yeah, matter of fact, he has the video this month for 60. This is for $60. He used the bow thing and a little raspberry something or another, and that's it.
It's all.
And then he adds solar to it or whatever. Yeah, but the basics. Yeah.
Now, I mean, if you wanted to go minimalistic, you just will do pass-through charging. If you got one of those USB solar chargers,
It's like plugged in.
This
It
thing
does it
will
all.
do a digipeater on its own.
But it doesn't do the bulletin board.
Bulletin board, but it
all
will
that.
actually be a digipeater and move signals.
Well, I think we'll go through at some point. We'll go through what we learned. We're still learning, as you can very well tell. We're still learning.
Yeah,
We still squawk on the
we're
repeater,
squawking on the repeater,
making noises and all that. So yeah. But I think 4 of us now. We'll. I thought we would talk a little bit about that when we do around the room. So in comment, we kind of talked about in the board meeting that we're going to do. We're going to kind of take this on maybe to be our. Okay, our son. We haven't firmed up anything other than the date, which is tomorrow. You can see my high-tech Timu antenna. I have the only I tested it today. This is what I know. When I point at the repeater, it's real strong. When I point to the side, the repeater goes away. So that's all I know. And I've got a headset and I got attenuators that in line I can screw in to knock down the signal. So when you get real close, you can kind of.
I have an antenna and a attenuator. I will loan anybody that wants to use it.
Okay.
And I can put it on HT, whatever.
So
I would love for somebody to use it because Connor and I won, so we're happy.
So here's the question: who's going to try to participate? That's the number one thing. If we don't have enough participation, it's kind of going to be a moot point. Carl just informed me.
I have to.
Carl's got. I don't know about his. I thought he had his priorities right. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure now.
Yeah.
He's working.
I said yes, and then they told me the date. And
See, you're supposed to get the
I
date
realized
and then.
it.
Yeah. Okay. I will be there. I plan on being there.
I do too.
Okay.
Gotta work.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I forget that being retired though. I'm not rubbing it in. I'm really not. Maybe I am. I don't know. Hey, Corbett, sign in sheet, buddy. Sign in sheet.
Oh, I've got something too.
Then you're not here.
Too.
So anybody else? Keith, me,
What day is it on?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow afternoon.
What time is it? 11 or?
We had set
Oh,
the
that's the
time.
date. The time he's out.
Well, I volunteered. Five.
Well, they're supposed to be the Fox.
What?
Yeah, they're supposed to be the Fox because they won last year. That's kind of the way it works.
Show them how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could shift the date, get more.
That's kind of why I'm asking this first. Yeah, I agree. I was worried about that.
Maybe even to November.
Yeah, because we don't have the November thing.
Yeah.
And it's a good cool weather activity. It's it's not like. So I'm fine with that. I mean,
I would like, I don't know anything about it, I've never done it, I would love to do it.
maybe what we should do is do let's see, next month's tech talk. Well, next month's tech talk.
Should be on Fox.
Be on Fox on how to do it, what equipment you can or can't, like kind of like we do with POTA in advance of having the POTA. How about doing that
I don't see enough interest
right now? No, you need at least yes 3 teams. No, it's yeah. I don't know how you do it. I mean,
Was trying.
do they? Okay. Well, see there again. Maybe that's good to have tech talk on it. I didn't know. I mean, I had no idea. Yeah, no, it's not but it's not a bad idea. So when you do it in teams, do you go separate? Did you and Connor go separate? You went together.
He drove and I
Okay.
hung out the window.
So we see what I was envisioning is you go one place and I go another and we cross and communicate because you're trying to triangulate and work as pairs. That's what I
Well,
know.
you're supposed
Well, you could have a driver,
to exactly then.
but that's a third person. Yeah. So anyway, how proposal? Let's do a tech talk next month on fox hunt.
Yep.
And then we will have the November slot, which we don't have anything planned for the fox hunt.
Ron might be interested in doing it.
And I was going to say Ron would be a good one to give the tech dog if he's available.
He's the guy that shows up for 14 antennas all the
Yeah.
time.
He's a cheater though.
Yeah. If we just ask Barnes, they know. Now remember, you're being recorded. You're being recorded. Oh, Corbett, we're on live stream. We're on live, so you and the room. Well, I'm just saying, in case you do something for like IRS confessions or something, I don't know, some. Okay, we'll reschedule that. I will ask Ron about doing a fox hunt tech talk. If he can't do that, then CJ, can you do it? You okay with that? Since you won, you get the honor, and you have some equipment.
I can tell you how to operate my equipment.
Well, I mean, it's as good. It'll be a discussion as much as anything. So
It always helps if your second point is the fox.
that does help. That does help. I was impressed with strapping my radio to the antenna. I mean, and I just, if nothing else, I could pick up the TV stations. So I don't know.
That's actually a pretty good setup.
Actually,
because we were using an Era, and I mean, getting that thing out from between Connor's legs and out the window. It's
So,
not that wide.
what I've seen people do is do the polarization trick.
Yeah.
To cut things down. Sweet.
Well, when you have
And you can do that.
the big antenna, it was
Good stuff. Huh? Be 2 meter. All right. It's a 2 meter fox. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What's the wattage on it?
Well, we started out last year. She was on HD.
I wish you had just done low power or
But, well, she's on 2 watts or something. I think. But I have a microfox. I think it's 5 milliwatt. Maybe. So start out on HD probably.
First few
For the
transmissions.
first few transmissions, and then flip over. And it's all it does is IDs my call center.
Okay. So it's short.
Start out voice on the X. Yeah. Let everybody kind of get the bearings, and then switch over, and it'll become more challenging as you get
Closer in. That's cool. So one thing
I
would
hang it in the tree.
I would like, after we have our tech talk and before we have our hunt, it would be nice to have something written up. Just even one page, what we're gonna do. It doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. But I didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't know how I'm having to run it.
Well, November should be cooler.
So November, we should be in good shape for November. Okay. And all my work of finding a fox hunt cartoon. I mean, come on.
Well, you can use it again.
I can. There were several pictures of like the royal fox hunts, but I didn't like those too much.
Lexington offers a prize.
Yeah, I thought about that.
When we get
When we get
close
closer.
to $10 Derek. Sorry. Ron gave us $10 Derek. We can get a card apiece. Oh, I got almost one whole chicken strip basket.
Almost.
Prices got me. It's in Walmart today. Well, you brought it. 2 or 3 chicken, $5.97 at Walmart. Don't tell me you can't afford it.
That's right. So I'm going to talk about chicken. Okay, stickers, patches, and I mentioned shirts. We distributed a bunch of stickers at our Go Box picnic thingy.
Still have.
A couple people that had reserved stickers. We hadn't got them to you, so you're on the list. Once those people have picked up what they want, anything left over are open for general take. Okay? And if we run out and we want more, I can certainly order more, not a problem. So
I have 15 left. The only 2 people I have left are you and Derek.
And Keith, I know you weren't here when we reserved them that night.
He got his.
You got some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got that stupid. here's an experience, put a piece of cardboard in there to keep bending. It cost me almost $7.
Oh my God.
Well. What a big bend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if I was you, I'd have said, wait 1 minute. Oh Lord, $7. That's right. So that's stickers. At the board meeting, I announced I'm done with patches. I've done 2 different runs of getting patches from a supplier, and right when I was ready to launch it, they got bought out or they shut down or somebody. I said, somebody please take this. I was working. Well, Connor was working on it too, right? You asked me.
I've got a guy getting us a quote.
Okay.
PVC patch.
A PVC patch. Okay.
Is it gonna look like this?
Yes, it's this patch.
That's good.
Yeah, it's that patch.
Good light, good pulling.
I ran across some of that. The thing is, I was trying to balance the cost, you know, and the minimum order. I think Patriot had a 50 patch minimum order. So the last company I was looking at had a 10 patch minimum order. And by the time I got the order ready, somebody had bought them up and changed it to 50. So I was like,
Well, now think about it. Let's see, one for the shoulder.
yeah. I can make stickers out of the patch logo, but yeah, well, they have Velcro back patches. They do that too.
Just
So
interesting.
these guys they're looking. I'm just letting you know why I haven't done patches. Shirts, I mentioned this last time, but I asked Ron if we wanted to order any of these. Could we? We can. So I've got mine has gotten decorated and snagged, so I might look at getting another one. So if anybody does want to, and we can put an order in sometime, anytime, just let us know. Okay, that's really all that is. Not a big deal. Anything else on stickers, patches? We did get the banners. We did get the posters. We did get the poster frames. I saw something the other day, kind of interesting. They put an order in sometime, anytime. Just let us know. Okay, that's really all that is. Not a big deal. That looked pretty good. Anything else on, instead of trying to do it with patches? We did get the banners. We did get the posters.
You can also use those like really
Those-
strong
those
very
snaps?
earth magnets.
Oh, magnets? Yeah, yeah.
They make up big bars. That's how we used to do it.
Okay. I know it's probably better than the rope thing, but
Yeah.
okay. Well, we do have all that, and I want to get that on our inventory. Those kind of things on our. We didn't get this poster. Yeah.
You can also
Probably.
use
CJ, I haven't done the spreadsheet.
really
Those-
strong
those
very
snaps?
earth magnets.
Oh, magnets? Yeah. Yeah.
They make up big
Okay,
bars.
220.
That's how we used to do it.
Okay. I know it's probably better than the rope thing. but- It is. Okay. Well, we do have all that, and I want to get that on our inventory. We talked about this. We didn't get this poster. Yep. And CJ, I have one more attempt.
Very magnets.
Oh, magnets? Yeah. Okay, 220. What's going on? Ask for feedback. I know it's probably better than the rope. It is. Okay. Well, we do have all that, and I want to get that on our inventory. We talked about this. We didn't get this poster. Yep. And I have some more attempts. Oh, magnets? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so 220. What's going on? Ask for feedback. I know it's probably better than the rope. It is. Okay. Well, we do have all that, and I want to get that on our inventory. We talked about this. We didn't get this poster. Yep. And I have some more attempts. Oh, magnets? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so 220. What's going on? Ask for feedback. I know it's probably better than the rope. It is. Okay. Well, we do have all that, and I want to get that on our inventory. We talked about this. We didn't get this poster. I might be missing her, to be honest. Oh, magnets? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so 220. What's going on? feet by. I know it's better. We talked about disaster with a earthquake, and they use that information to help map out the effects, assuming everything down. All right. So if you want to get involved in that, if you're an ARRL member, or even if you're not, you can go to the ARRL website. But if you're an ARRL member, you probably get these emails, these newsletters from ARRL, and that's in there. Okay. So you can take a look at that if you want to participate. There's links and there's whatever, but that's what that is. So you remember when we had POTA? Was it 2 years ago? It had this eclipse. It was kind of that same thing. It's a citizen science participation kind of deal, and that's what this is. So just FYI, if you're interested, it's out there. If you need more information, you need something from me, I can send you the clip. This is out of that, but there's more. I hope not. Of course, this time it is. I don't know if they have a specific form. I've got a feeling they do have an email form that you're supposed to fill out, and you've got to send it by radio. Okay, and that's the idea, is that you send it via WinLink. I assume.
It's a win.
It is a WinLink exercise. So, okay, so that's from ARRL. The other one. Anybody here in HOA? Are you in HOA? Do you have HOA nightmares? Are they? Okay, so you're not. And the reason I ask is that what this is all about. There are two bills, one in the Senate, one in the House. They're making another run at this HOA thing. Okay, they did a pretty good write-up if you're interested in it. So they're asking anybody can submit sendaletter.org HOA, and you can put in your call sign, name, and all that, and it'll automatically send letters to the appropriate state, local representative, the state, Senate, whatever the representatives.
We tried. And I went through it from my call sign, and it feel like it took like months.
Yeah. So it sends all that out. Yeah.
You don't have to write the letter.
No. And there is a link on there that if you want to see what the letters look like, don't do it blind. Yeah. So that's what that is. Okay. Also, they're asking for input, and CJ, you might get this, Keith, you might get this. I don't know. They're sending out a letter to the club affiliate. Whoever's listed as the club affiliate will get this letter. And they're asking for us to fill out more than just to send a letter, but to provide a club response and then send that. Okay, so I got the first email. So I might get it, but it said whoever's registered. I don't know who that is. So be on. I'd like you two guys to be on the watch for that. In case you
If they go by call sign, it'll be me. I'm the trustee.
Okay, so more than likely you'll get it, I'd say.
I'm still getting bank deposit notifications for people before they know water else from the club.
Yeah, so that's why I mentioned it, just in case. If you see it, don't put it in your trash bin. Grab a hold of it, and it'll look kind of official the way the first one went out. So just so you know what it
Well, you
is.
first said there'll be an HOA.
That's probably the easiest, but there's a lot of people out there that have to deal with this. I read this. There's a kind of a cover sheet that they had on there. I did not realize you can have by law, you can have a flagpole, but you cannot have a flagpole antenna. That flagpole is legal, but if you make that flagpole into an antenna, it is not covered, even though it's still a flagpole. Wow. That's how crazy it gets. So that's what a lot of this is about. I know it doesn't affect us directly, it doesn't seem, but I do think from a hobby and a service, it's probably, like I say, it takes 5 seconds to fill out the form. Just go do it. Okay. Ground room. That's all I got on. Let me look at the agenda real quick, guys. I want to make sure.
You should have a safety.
I do. I'm sorry.
You should have a guard.
I didn't. I ran through my slides and I didn't have 2 slides for that. So PR, media, and safety.
You want me to do them both?
Yeah, do them however you want to do them.
Okay, on the PR front, of course, we just had our Go Box demo cookout. That was for those of you that didn't make it, we had a great turnout.
Excuse me. You're official.
And our article got published in the Democrat, even with a little front page header. And then it was a little deeper in the Democrat. I'll pass it around if you care to read it. It's a pretty good art. Well, I wrote it, but it's a pretty good article. If you'll notice, it also mentions that we help other amateurs make station improvements. And there's a picture of us working out at Trudy's.
Yep. Oh, so much.
Okay, now I'm going to go through this pretty quick. A lot of you have heard of this. Some of you probably have not. The FCC's got a new RF exposure guideline for amateur radio. We were overlooked or exempt. You are supposed to do a station evaluation to make sure that you're not causing any dangerous RF exposure to you, your neighbors, etc. Most hams shouldn't have any difficulty meeting the requirement. The deadline was May 23rd, 2024, by the way. So if you're not up to date, you're already past date on this. A lot of people think it's going to be hard, but go to the ARRL website. It brings you to a RF exposure calculator. It's got very few fields you have to fill out. Some of them include drop-down menus like duty cycle and things like that. They'll walk you through it. There's another thing you click on that walks you through this form. It will tell you if you have dangerous RF exposure. Now, in a controlled environment, like Carl, you've got a controlled environment. You know your property boundaries. You know you're not going to hurt any neighbor, but you still got your family, but you can just tell them, don't go up and lick the antenna. So there's a controlled environment. Then there's the uncontrolled environment where do you live in town, Cale?
Yes.
So Cale wants to put up an antenna on his property line. Well, he's got to take into account if he's causing the kids swimming in the pool next door too much RF exposure. But somebody like Carl or me probably wouldn't have to worry about it at all because it's not going to happen. But in the uncontrolled environments, that's what they're most concerned about. And that would include public areas, like you live in an apartment building and you've got an antenna on your balcony, whatever. So keep that in mind. This is, they're relying on you to do your own station evaluation, okay? They're not going to come around and send the radio to stop all. I mean, they don't even do anything to the guys on 7200, right? There is a form that you might want to keep on hand just in case. There's a lot of information on this to help you figure the dB gain of your antenna. You could probably just look it up on DX Engineering or whatever. And what this is going to do, it's going to demonstrate to yourself and possibly your neighbors if they ever get all wonky on you. Like, hey man, what are you doing here? That your station's operating within FCC guidelines, and you can tell them that. Hey, I've done these calculations. You know, I'm within compliance, and you're not going to be injured by RF energy. And well, we all know there's been some studies that show RF can cause some cancers and things like that. And their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. I'm just showing you, look how much information is there if you want to really read it. It's a good idea to do the evaluation just to be able to see studies that show RF can cause some cancers and things like that. So you talk, and it's, their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how much information is there if you want to really read it. It's a good idea to do the evaluation just to be able to see studies that show RF can cause some cancers and things like that.
Let's see, anything else on that?
Nope. So you talk, and it's, their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how much information is there if you want to really read it. It's a good idea to do the evaluation.
Okay,
around the room. RF can cause some cancers and things like that.
Let's see, anything else on that?
So you talk, and it's,
We're going to do
their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how much information is there if you want to really read it. It's a good idea to do the
Welcome.
evaluation.
Okay.
Around the room. RF can cause some cancers and things like that.
Let's see, anything else on that?
We're going to do their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how much information is there if you want to really read it. It's a good idea to do the
Welcome.
evaluation.
Okay.
Around the room. RF can cause some cancers and things like that.
Let's see,
Their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how much information is there to want to read it. It's a good idea to do the
Welcome.
evaluation.
Okay.
Around the room. RF can cause some cancers and things like that.
Let's see,
Their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how
by
much
that clock up there, we're always early.
it's a good idea to do the
Welcome.
evaluation.
Okay.
Around the room. RF can cause some
Around the room,
cancers
real quick. Let's see.
Their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how
By
much
that clock up there, we're always early.
it's a good idea to do the
Welcome.
evaluation.
Okay.
RF
Around the room, real quick. Let's see.
Their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how
By
much
that clock up there, we're always early.
it's a good idea to do the
Welcome. Okay.
RF
Around the room, real quick. It's way out there.
Their bottom line is it's a good idea to do the evaluation. Okay, I'm just showing you, look how
By
much
that clock up there, we're always early.
it's a good idea to do the
Welcome. Okay.
RF
Around the room, real quick. It's way out By that clock up there, we're always early.
it's a good idea to do
Welcome. Okay. Around the room, real quick. It's way By that clock up there, we're always early. We get up there and figure it out. Okay. Around the room, real quick. It's By that clock up there, we're always early. About that block up there, we're always we get up there and figure it out. About that block up there, we're always we get up there and figure it About that block up there, we're always we get up there and figure About that block up there, we're always
We just wanted to mention that because you don't have to have a Starlink to actually use the pole. For
Got the pole, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Great.
And it's not that expensive.
Just to reflect a little bit on what Keith's saying about wire signals radiating that well, most people don't understand, especially cable customers, they don't understand cable TV systems are really, really hard on the FCC is really hard on cable companies causing
Leaking.
signal leak after that. A 400 microphone leaks to rat killing. And you know, everything that they measure with, sickle guns and stuff, you know, we walk around like this with a radiation detector. People think you got a, you know, your kilometers, meters up, you know, they're flipping you off, you're going out the road, like just, coals. But
Make friends, huh?
that, you know, you make friends like everyone,
Yeah.
but that signal radiating down the atmosphere is still true.
No, you're right.
It can be real serious. That's what heats up the.
So I did mine. I ran my stuff through the site, and it's a combination of how close you are,
Right.
the power level, and the
Right.
duty cycle, and it gets really nasty when you're running a big amp. That really, you know, if you've got a big amplifier,
You know,
I mean, it
that's
really
a big
does.
thing to keep in mind. If you exceed these guidelines, you could drop your power, and usually you'll come right back into compliance.
Yeah.
Because you get into things where you can do shielding. I mean, there's all sorts of things, and you get mitigation. But
Well, all the, RF, you know, the bidding for RV6, RV11, whatever they're using anymore, has a RF radiation shield. Snap and silver connector.
over it,
They're real high.
all right.
That's why, you know, when you're doing that kind of leakage testing and stuff, you just drive down the road, and all of a sudden, bam, boy, the fire goes, you gotta stop. You gotta fix it on the spine. And usually you walk up to a customer's house, or they, inside, they've got.
I've done
screw on that thing,
cheapy.
you know, trying to cheat, you know,
Yeah.
dude, you're killing yourself over
Yeah.
it.
Don't do that.
You find one of those and people in the house and probably cheating on it.
Now, what they usually do, they'll want to move the house where they've had home installed or box, and they'll run
Your own extension or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Or nothing's tight,
Right.
you know, but if it's trigger tight, it's gonna vibrate loose.
I had a question too about, in Winchester, when you drive down Lexington Avenue, if you're listening to the AM radio, there's several places you pick up all kinds of noise and you're barely receiving, and some, most of the time it comes in good. And is anyone experiencing that in any of these towns
Well,
out here when you drive down the street?
That will be, you need to inform that department, so that's what that is.
Oh, it was all over the place, but it's been there before Spectrum, but it's getting worse, and I think it might be our government is working some way because they're trying to get AM out of the car.
Well, the cars are doing a pretty good job of that themselves. Especially the EVs. I can't imagine trying to get a radio on an EV. Oh my God.
They want to get clear out of the car on what they would do.
So, are you guys aware of the 440 to 70 centimeter allocation attack? Not attack, but you know, usage. The what I forget the company's name that wants to use it. There was a recent decision on that, a partial decision, which was a temporary decision. It was only so it was a satellite company wanting to use that band to control satellites with. Is what it was. And they made a temporary decision. You know, they give them a very, very small amount of space for a very finite usage. So it wasn't the final decision, but that's still ongoing, just so you know that. It has not been settled. So I don't know if you're aware, I didn't know if you were aware of that or not.
So they got their nose in it, changes.
Yeah. Well, the other side is it could have been a decision, a final decision, but it wasn't. So I don't know what that means. Danny?
I'm slowly working on trying to cover all the maintenance. I've got 57300 still in box.
So it don't work real good in the box,
Well,
but don't collect dirt either.
I said they was buddy, he demanded I buy they had it down with some. got what they call it, big roll.
Got the wire antenna.
Yeah.
Delta loop? Oh my God. Well, Delta loop's a good quiet antenna, but they're pretty good size.
Yeah, Alpha did.
Oh, that's a brand.
From Alpha Delta,
Yeah.
Probably they don't take fan, but I'm still,
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm still picking everybody's brain about a crossfade. So they got to pick one out there.
Well, I haven't got one. So can't help you. Corbin.
Hey, I'm still in the business of buying antennas, putting them in places they don't work.
There you go.
So, after I tested your Jade, Slim Jim, the Louisville place, this guy was selling stuff. He had no idea. Well, maybe I was wrong to give him $30 for a vertical with boys. So now I've got your Slim Jim, this vertical in my attic. I just started testing with that, which I'm doing it all wrong. So just hook it up to the SWR.
Yeah. Like I tell everybody, I can tell you what not to do. I'm good at that.
So I'm going to see if in the attic.
Yeah.
It's this weekend.
Cool. Have fun. Enjoy it. I enjoy it. I work on probably something every day, even if it's just a little bit. It may often be in my recliner, but it counts. Yes, sir. And I just wanted you to know that Fox Hunt, your first name is now changed to Fox.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so, okay. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
I did. So,
You did? Good.
I haven't done anything really interesting in life. Just trying to kind of remember stuff I was messing with a few months ago and revisiting that. And I was messing with DMR, trying to hook up to that. It's new Zion repeater that's like 3.5 miles from my house. I realized I forgot basically everything.
Every note.
I set up my hotspot and my DMR every time. For work, it's like, I can watch some videos or something.
Well,
Anything.
I told you I bought that Open Spot 4,
Yeah.
and they're really good, but I found out you need to take them out of the box.
Yeah.
It's been in the box on the mantle for 3 months. I haven't tested.
So it'll be pretty good though.
They're nice.
Intuitive,
Yeah, the setup's great, but I don't really have anything to do with it yet. So we'll get there. Yeah. Anything else? It worked?
Yeah.
Carl?
Well, like Rick said, we've been playing with these radios. I've been carrying this. I usually have something at work a lot of times, and we had a pretty good band opening day. So standing outside of the loading dock at the building that I work at in Lexington, like Colombo, Mantle Ward area, I talked to Keith on the repeater, straight from this HT. One day, Wednesday.
In one spot.
In one spot. That were aluminum. Yeah, that were aluminum. 27 miles from Lexington to the repeater train.
What?
Yeah, but still, that's not much difference. But I got excited and I went like this. And he said, "You about dropped out there." Oh, right. It'll be right here.
AirPods, you could have set it on box.
Put it wherever you want it. Yeah, see, these radios, the other thing that's really nice is they're Bluetooth. They all have Bluetooth enabled. That's the feature. And then so you have a Bluetooth app. You can use Bluetooth third-party software. Okay, so that's again, when we get a little bit better and we can share the information, and we'll go through that. I think
that. Yeah, what's great about Bluetooth, I think audio.
It's hands free, and if you have the Android app now, the app just programming it, just using the app to program it is so much simpler. Yeah. So we'll get a little more organized. We'll share some of that with you at some point. Connor, been flying? I don't know. No flying?
Plan's been an annual,
Oh, that's right.
been planned, but FTA.
FTA, having fun.
Work all 50 states.
Cool.
Yeah, my hammer keeps me up at night.
Cause of comment. Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of the same way.
That's when all the good stuff
It
should
is.
come in.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Been got all 50 states.
Yes, that's good. So I've been trying to fill in all the grids. I don't think I'll ever get all the grids in the United States in the desert.
Yeah,
There's nobody in the desert, you know.
West Coast is easy. I got just about everything on the East Coast. Besides, like, the closest squares around us. They're never lit up.
So on the real close ones, I change my messages. And when I find somebody like in Lexington or for sales or something like that, I'd change my message and say, "Thanks for local." You know, just yeah. I got Dave Rich. I got Dave on. Does he? I knew he had.
Yeah, you have to go in for a procedure to try to scrape it off the wire. If I don't get it, we've got to go in and got to open it up.
My goodness.
I've got a friend that he helps me with testing, but he likes information real well. He's got over 400 confirmations of grid splitters on 6 meters.
On 6 meters.
Yeah,
So I've got over 1,000 just in general, but not on. It's on all bands. Yeah.
he's running an amplifier too. That's a huge one. I think it's about a 25 to 30 watt deal and don't go any higher.
You know what? One thing that I found out I wasn't aware of, I just hadn't thought about it, but you know your little LDG antenna tuners, the little, the external antenna tuners, they're only rated for 30 watts on digital.
They use an AR6
Because they're derated that much. I didn't realize it. I thought 50 because I was 50, but they're actually rated at 30. I burned up not one tuner. I burned up a Balin doing that. TJ,
Been trying to learn APRS, going to basketball games,
APRS basketball game.
APRS basketball games. Going to put up a digipeater eventually.
Basketball game.
Basketball game.
Yeah,
That's about it.
basketball game. I can't
try to learn to
Yeah,
stream, obviously, in mile high.
We set this up 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and did a test stream. So hopefully our live streaming and stuff. And something else we can do. We can also post. One conversation, please. Hopefully if our YouTube channel thingy with live streams and all that, if that works out well, I mean, it's another way that we can reach out, but we can also post, short videos. I was thinking about a few things maybe in the next coming couple of months about refresh. Do we take another look like at our repeater net? Do we want to make some switch up and changes? What do we want to do to keep things fresh? So one of the things I was thinking about is doing a short videos of shack tours. Do a shack tour of your shack.
Yeah.
A little short video. Just what do you got? Show us. Hey, just I don't know. I'm just thinking of things that you could do, and share with people. You can post it on YouTube if you want. If not, that's fine too. I was trying to come up with things that we could possibly do. One last thing I just want to mention. It won't be long that our club elections. That'll be on that 19th of December. The actual elections. Nominations will be in November. So I plan on talking about that a little bit more in October, but I just want to let you know it's not that far away. Keep that in mind. Trudy will be going off the board. It'll be her she'll be expiring out. And so we'll need one new board member. And then if anybody wants a privilege, you can have it. You just let me know. No problem. Oh yeah, they sending you.
I just called.
Oh my God.
How are you doing your age? Okay, what kind of phone do you use?
iPhone.
Oh, iPhone. Well, there's a program, I've got HCARC Pro.
Yeah.
Probably one, mine's cracking now, and this works real well, you just turn it on in your car. Those Ron's following me all over the place with his. He's got his on right now, if y'all want to see where he is.
And I've messaged Ron through APRS. I've messaged Ron through APRS. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I was running APRS the other day, and the International Space Station went over, and I sent a beacon through, and Carl got it through the space station. That was kind of cool.
Well,
Yeah. You know, I know he didn't do anything, but it went through.
So, right now.
Okay. We're gonna let Keith take over. Anything else? We'll get Keith set up here, give him a couple minutes. Get your HDMI hooked up there. You ever done an HDMI off of this thing? No. Let's see if it works.
I will say, you guys, stop by. Good. I can tell you that. He doesn't feel basically in the recording. So, and his house hasn't sold yet. When it does, they'll be moving to Ohio.
Hey, it worked first time.
All right. Going to talk about POTA today because next month is our POTA event at Blue Lick State Park.
Yep.
And I'm singing to the choir. Some of you have done it. Corbett, Ron, CJ does it. Connor does it. And a guy named Don that came over to Veterans Park in Georgetown.
Yes.
That's
He
right.
lives just down the street.
All right, we all got together a while back and we did a joint activation. And that's a point I'll bring up later. You can do it with more than one person. But POTA's mantra is, it's kind of a golden rule, and it's very simple. Have fun, keep it simple. You could go out there with a vertical with 32 radials. Do you really want to do that for portable operation? Probably not. I use a hand stick on top of my truck or an end fed halfway. I know a guy that sets up a mini G5 RV when he goes. So there's a lot of options on how you can do it, but keeping it simple makes it more palatable. You want to do it more often because it's not a big deal. I can be set up in 10 minutes and transmit. No problem whatsoever. POTA came out from the idea of encouraging getting in touch with your national parks, state parks, wildlife management areas, and nature preserves. City parks are not included in POTA. To operate POTA, you must be in an approved park or you must be at your home. I'll talk about that in a minute. Where are the parks? Well, we've got a couple here in Harrison County, White Trail State Nature Preserve, and yes, White Trail State Griffith Woods Wildlife Management Area. And I think anybody in here that's done POTA except for Corbin has operated from both of those. You have, and I know CJ has. Matter of fact, CJ and Connor have a plan in the future of hiking into the largest burr oak tree in Kentucky and transmitting from that tree. So you can see there could be a lot of configurations of operation depending on what your preference is. POTA's not a contest. Some people act like it is. POTA isn't. It's like a personal quest. You can do it on the WARP bands, which are usually contest free because it's not a contest. I will say this, most POTA is done in the general class bands. That's where everybody is. Usually 20 and 40 meters is very popular. I've heard POTA done on every band. I've done 10 meters. Who knows? I've heard the other ones. So it's not really considered a contest, and they do not approve of relays. You must make a direct contact. Yes, I've heard people on POTA doing relays because they probably haven't read the rules. But it's not like doing a simplex net. Oh yeah, I've got Joe up in Lexington. I know you can't hear him. If you can't hear somebody on POTA good enough to make a contact, you shouldn't really log it. But I've heard people, no radio police, I really don't care, but they don't want you to do it. It's right in the rules. No repeaters can be used. Okay, you can do HF, VHF, UHF, doesn't matter, but you can't use repeaters. So if you go VHF, UHF, you're going to be going simplex. And I always try to let some people know if I'm in the area, like Rick or CJ or Connor or whoever. And hey, I'm out at the park. I'm going to go to 2 meter POTA on 535, and I try to make some 2 meter contacts. Just 1 or 2 every time if I can. First thing, go to the POTA website and sign up. Then you can download the app if you want to. If you don't like to download apps, you go back to the website every time and log in. Doesn't matter. It's up to you.
So is there much difference between those two things?
No, it's either one's relatively quick. Like I didn't have the app on my laptop for a while, so I just went and logged in. But I like the app because it's really quick. Of course, you have to log. So you need a logging software. I don't care if it's Hammers, LOTW, or W. Yeah, it has to be able to convert your log to ADIF, not Cabrillo. POTA only accepts ADIF converted logs. You might go to a park and not have any service. Okay, I've had it happen. I've heard other people often that have it happen. In that case, I log on paper all the time. That's just my preferred method because I used to not have a headset. If you have a headset, it's easier to log on a computer. Sometimes I get sun glare on the screen. There's other things, but I like to log on paper. And POTA does not care about 4 categories in the log. They don't care about single string. You can give accurate single strings, and you can just say 5-9 to everybody. Doesn't matter, because POTA doesn't care. Here's my custom log I made up. All they care about, call sign, time, park, or frequency. Now, if I hit 100, that's somebody at home that's trying to make contact with people in parks. If I get 100, I'll write their state down if I know it, just for personal information. POTA does not care. Once you put their call sign in your log, it'll populate that anyway. So don't get hung up on single string because they don't care. They just don't. Let's talk about activator versus hunter. An activator is a person that goes to a park and activates their station. A hunter, say Connor is at home on Saturday and he says, well, I think I'll do a little POTA. Well, he'll go to this POTA logging site and he'll start looking, hey, who do I want to try? And you could scroll down and see everybody that's activating right now. Last heard 11 seconds ago. And you'll see California, Colorado, Georgia, and this refreshes now. We're at Washington. We're at wherever Tignuma Shizen is. And Mount Thomas Forest Conservation in Canada. You get a lot of Canadian stations. If that is Canada. I think it probably is. They usually start with CA, so it's not Canada. Might be New Zealand. Yeah. POTA is almost everywhere. Antarctica. Antigua. Cuba. Where were you going sometime? Aruba. It's all over. So I don't do a lot of POTA DX, but you can. Go operate. That's the main thing. When you get a chance, you don't have to spend all day. You can operate off your cab of your truck, your passenger seat, your tailgate, a picnic table, picnic shelter, put a pop-up up. I've done it all. You can operate from, Connor, it might interest you to know, you can operate POTA from an aircraft as long as you are in the park boundaries flying. 1,500 feet. Okay.
I've seen it all do it.
Yeah, I'm actually.
They kept flying over.
That's great. I've contacted a guy POTA in an aircraft before. RVs, a lot of people operate from their RVs, especially when it's hot. And when you, this is a good one. You can boat in. There's a place called 6 Mile Island. It's on the Ohio River, right? The island's owned by Kentucky. It's in the middle of the Ohio. Of course, Kentucky owns to the far low water mark anyway. But Brent Wells is our Kentucky coordinator. Every state has a coordinator for POTA in for BDW. And Brent went to 6 Mile Island a while back. There was a guy that his goal, you can make goals. I don't really. My goal is to activate. And I'll tell you what that's all about in a second. Brent went there with a few other people. They activated. There was a guy trying to get every POTA entity in Kentucky. That was his last one. And so they actually activated so he could get them. I tried that day. I couldn't get through. They were on 40 meters. It still didn't happen.
I was his fourth from the last one.
That's right.
At Quiet Trails is when he told me he had 3 left.
Yeah, and I gave him Griffith Woods. He had never got Griffith Woods. And I'll go into how do I know if I've got US 9935? That's your part number. I'll go into that here in a bit. How do I know if I've got that? Hey, if I'm not interested in getting the park I've already got, I can tell if I've got that just within a millisecond, just about. When you start activating, you want to spot yourself on the spotter page. And it's very simple. You just go down to the bottom of the page. You just scroll all the way down. It'll say spot. You just put your information in. It's going to ask for your call sign, your part number, your frequency.
What is that?
There's a
What is that
tab.
website? I can't.
Yeah, capital POTA. You can see it gives the call sign of the operator, the activator, gives her part number. It tells you what the park is, where it is, what frequency they're on. That's what you need to know. All right, when you're operating. And sometimes you probably do that. Sometimes I'll just scan the band. And whoever's the loudest, that's who I go to. I don't even use this really to find the POTA station. A lot of times I do. Because you might see Alaska on there. Maybe you've never got Alaska. That's how I got Alaska, is through a POTA contact. The guy was in Alaska, but he was from South Carolina, but still.
I got Alaska and Hawaii.
There you go. Now, when you spot, here's what's going to happen. You better be ready for a train wreck, pile up nightmare sometimes. I'm not kidding you. Sometimes it's like you can't even pick out the 2 letters of a call sign because there's so many people calling you at the same time. This is extremely popular in ham radio, and I think it's helping keep the hobby alive. You assemble your equipment based on how you're going to operate. So I'm not much into long walks anymore. So I operate usually off the tailgate of my pickup truck. If the weather's bad, I'll operate from the passenger seat. If I'm in a park, sometimes I'll put up a pop-up and set up a white table and chair. So I can use lead acid batteries. I'll just leave them in the back of the truck. Works great. Am I going to carry a lead acid battery into the biggest burr oak tree? No, but Connor and CJ will backpack in probably with lightweight batteries, Fly Pros or whatever. So you set up, you try to decide what kind of equipment you want to use based on how you want to operate. If you're going to do POTA and SOTA, which is summits on the air, that's basically mountains, you would want something extremely portable and lightweight. You must be within the boundaries of the park to operate. I say park. Okay, I'll give you some other examples. Lewis and Clark Trail, Appalachian Trail, some historic rivers. They are in POTA, and you have to be within 100 feet of them. But to actually do a park, you have to be within the boundaries of that park.
If you go to a park in Florida, do not put a wire in.
Okay, I'm gonna ditch that. You're going to run into twofers and threefers. Some people will actually be in 3 parks at the same time because they cross. So you might get a person that said, "Hey, I got 3 parks for you. US 1, 2, 3, 4, US 5, 6, 7, 8, US 9, 10, 11, 12. Could be. And in that case, that's a feather in your cap. You just made 3 contacts that are going to be put into your statistics with 1 contact. Also, you're gonna run into multiple operators, like me and Corbett and Don and Ron, 4 operators. I start out, CQ POTA, I use a recorded message. CQ POTA, this is Kilo Oscar 4 Bravo Whiskey Juliet at US 1234. And they come back, I give them the signal report, I give them my part number if they didn't hear it. Then I say, I've got 3 more operators. I hand the mic to Corbett. He says, you're 5-9 into the park, or you're 5-9. If he wants to say the park number, that's fine. They've probably already got it. They get 4 contacts from home with 1 actual session, contact session. So you can take people with you. I've done as many as 7 operators in one park. I heard one day. You might have heard it too. 12 operators.
Yeah, you just spin it out.
And I said, the heck with that. I am not going to sit here and do 12 operators. Yeah.
You can have anybody as a third party operator, so they have to be a licensed.
You could be control operator.
What I'm saying is, could CJ's daughter be a contact with
That's not something I've ever ran across.
You know what I
But he
mean?
said no. Yeah. Yeah, he said no. But I don't know.
into Johnson. Remember?
Oh, we did, didn't we?
It kicks you out.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can't upload.
You've got to have a call sign.
It's called.
Call
She was
sign.
your call sign. Jackson was operating.
You could put it twice.
But no, because he's a technician, even though he was in the presence of extras, he operated trying to use his call sign.
So,
We didn't have bank privilege.
so here's what happens. I use hammers. I'm not suggesting it, but in hammers, it's got a call sign field. And I can put all 3 of those call signs separated by commas, and then it extrapolates that in your hammer's log. It puts it in as 3 separate contacts. So there you go. And why does it matter how many contacts you have? I'll tell you. I talked about logging. They only care about those 4 categories. They don't care about signal strength. And I can't read my writing there. Just remember, you got public parks all over the world. They have special events. You can actually go on the POTA page and click on special events. It'll tell you what they all are. There are special events that can, like there's a Support Your Parks weekend. There's a Kentucky POTA weekend. There's you can get awards. You build awards. They're electronic. If you care to print them off, Mike Mullins, KN4COE, has a teardrop trailer he operates from. It is wallpapered with POTA certificates. I don't print certificates. The only one I ever print, POTA will issue you a Worked All 50 States certificate. It's free, unlike the ARRL that charges, I think, $25. So that's how I got my Worked All 50 States certificate. And, you know, I think that's pretty cool. It's much less crowded if you're operating in the morning. During the week, of course, but people camp a lot during the weekends. You're going to have a little more of a crowd, but it's usually not too big a problem to find a frequency. And you may be with a POTA operator that's hunting from another park. You may make a contact with them, and they may tell you, hey, I'm going to leave this frequency in about 5 minutes. Stay there and take it. Right after they leave, ask if it's in use and go with it. I've done that a few times. It happens occasionally. Weekends are good for hunters when they're at home, because obviously there's so many people, man. Sometimes you scroll and you scroll. There's so many people operating because it is so popular. And but you need to submit your log, okay, as a hunter. As an activator, there is no logging requirement. You get recognized by the hunter's log that they submit. So for instance, if Corbett went to Veterans Memorial that day, and all these people are excited about getting those 4 contacts, if he didn't submit his log, they're only going to get 3. So it's kind of a personal responsibility. If you're going to hunt, submit the log. If you're going to activate from home, you don't, or if you're going to activate, submit the log from the park. But if you're hunting from home, don't worry about it. Those stats will show on your page when they're submitted. Might be a day, might be an hour, might be 2 weeks, but they will show. Yeah, 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 that's no problem. I'll get to that, but since you brought it up, right here, click on that. You'll be asked to, it'll automatically populate your call sign because you can see I'm logged in. If you're not logged in, it says sign out, sign in up here. So make sure you log in, okay? You can't spot somebody if you're not logged in because it won't show them your call sign. So go down here and spot, it'll automatically populate your call sign.
Is that was somebody that was working offline? No, like.
There you go. Make a comment. You can just say, Spike's from Kentucky. You can just put your calls, you can just put, have a good day, but you have to put something in a comment to spot. And then you just spot them. And they'll go right to the top of the page. And when that happens to you, when somebody spots you, if you're activating, here comes the pile up, buddy. Because you're at the top of the page again. Okay. It's all on the honor system. Okay, me and Leslie were sitting on the porch last night and she asked me something about POTA. And I said, I literally could be in my shack and I can say I'm US 1234 and I'm lying. Okay, but that can happen because it's all honor system. There's nobody that knows whether you're there or not. It's all on you being an honest person. Successful activation. Remember, that's if you're in a park or near that trail or river. Like the Potomac is one river that you have to be within 100 feet of. You must make 10 verified contacts for a successful activation. Get yourself some insurance, I found. Make 15. Because if you go home and start like I log at home at my computer, and I find out, oh man, that call sign doesn't exist because I heard it wrong or wrote it down wrong, that doesn't count. So get you a little bit of insurance to make sure you get those 10. I've got as many as almost 300. It just depends on the day and how active you want to be. And whether somebody's with you that wants to talk to you a lot. That'll really affect your number of activations. Hunters, don't worry about how many contacts you make. You make one, you can make 500. It's up to them to put you in the system. There's no requirement for hunters to make a specific number of activation. If you're at home hunting, just do it. Sometimes I'll go back and just make 3, just to check my system that day and leave it at that. I put them in my logbook, but you don't send that to POTA, remember. Park rules. Connor brought this up. Park rules. Kentucky, so far I've not run into any trouble. There's one thing, Brent, N4BDW, went to Blue Licks Battlefield State Park Revolutionary War site. They unknowingly set up in the battlefield area. They were asked to move. It's kind of sacred ground. They didn't know they'd done anything wrong. Otherwise, at Blue Licks, I've never seen them mind people tying things in trees, put a stake. Some parts won't even let you put a stake in the ground. You know, so you put radials out or whatever. And Connor, tell your story so they'll know what I'm talking about.
I went to Florida this 4th of July weekend. It's when I activated it. The only park within an hour of driving. And it was, we kind of stayed there for that reason and got the room closer to that area for the park there. I had just I was putting the infant halfway but in a parking lot in the very, very back of the park. Ocean view. I mean, it was pretty. And here comes the park ranger, and he rode in, and it was nothing's to be in the trees. Take it down, and have a nice day. Then the same thing. I just took it down. I quit. I lost me $10.
So is there a way to know?
You need to ask a ranger to call the office before you go. Trudy always calls
But
Blue Licks to let
there
us
was
know
some-
we're coming.
There was a different group of people down under the shelter that had hammers tied to trees, so I didn't get the gist of it.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked is that I was wondering, ODAP actually had. It's also not published anywhere on the Florida State Park.
It might just be that ranger. I mean,
And I thought it was the 4th of July week.
it could just be the ranger. I've heard of people complaining about heavy-handed rangers, you know, but at Blue Licks, they literally don't even pay any attention to them. I mean, the park police will go by and they're just, you know, go right on. They don't care.
I had a memorable one in activated Lake Mead. Was it 20? I think it was 20 meters activated out there. Got Carl, we got Keith and CJ from across the country, and it sounded weird. We made the conference.
Yeah, man.
It didn't sound like you all, but
The awards are unbelievable. There are so many of them. Something a lot of people work for is a kilo award, 1,000 contacts from a single park. Doesn't have to be at the same time. It can accumulate over several trips.
well, Mike didn't.
Well, I mean, Mike Mullins has got over 3,000 contacts at Kincaid Lake, which I've operated from. It's a great place to operate from. He's like a rabid dog when he's doing POTA. Don't talk to him. He's blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I like to just enjoy myself.
He'll do 1,000 where he goes.
Yeah, and get that minimum 10 contacts, which I always try to get at least 15. Make sure you sign in when you go to the page, or you're not going to have the capabilities you need. And now what I want to do is, while I've still got time, is walk you through. Okay, you got the call sign. Look, click on the call sign. Look here, you can see all their stats. You can see who you're talking to, what his name is, if it's in there, how many awards and endorsements are earned. He's done 1,494 different parks. That's not me, okay? I like to stick. The farthest I've been was Clemersville Lake State Park, and that was for a Kentucky POTA get-together where we operated as well. And they're going to have another one out in Western Kentucky. They have 2 get-togethers a year for Kentucky POTA. Next.
You might mention Paul's back up there, refresh. If you don't want that to refresh.
Yeah, and you might not.
You might not.
Like, let's say I want to work, okay, let's say I want to work this guy on CW. If you don't watch out, it'll refresh and he won't be there anymore. You'll have to go look for him on down the page. So pause it and hold him right there until you try to make contact. Because if not, you need this information for your log at home.
Where's the pause?
It's right up here. See, it's going to refresh. Watch when it refreshes in 10 seconds. You're going to see all new. Well, it's not. It's going to go lower on the page.
Frustrating, Pete.
There you go. You got all new data there. Now, here's a guy in North Carolina. I would definitely try him. And so let's move on to the park itself. There's one in Nebraska. It's US 4011. You click it. Hey, look what it does when you click on that park. You get all this good information. It's in Nebraska. It's outside of Omaha. It shows you the location. It shows you their stats. You can page through that if you want to. This is good if you want to learn a little more. If you hear a park that sounds interesting to you, I don't always do it. You can actually pull that park up and find out exactly where it is. And I think that's pretty cool. Okay, we're back to the regular page. Let's say you want to respot. We already went through that. If they might not ask you to spot them, but it's a common courtesy because it keeps them active. Because if you get way down on the list, you are definitely going to get less hunters looking for you. Or park to parks. You can do a park to park. And usually park to parks will take priority over everybody else. Let's say I'm at Blue Licks and Connor's at Kincaid Lake. I would say KZ40X, K04BWJ Park to Park. He's probably gonna call on me first, cause that's another feather in your cap to get, get them logged.
Does that count for points?
It does, yeah. Well, there's really not points,
Contact.
but
Toward the activations or anything?
no, not really. It's just that a lot of people prefer to take Parks to Park first.
Women, kids, QRP, and Park to Park will win every time.
Yeah, they'll win every time. Now listen, hey, if I have Connor come in first and I have somebody else say, and Trudy came in and said, N4BPJ, is that it? K4
KQ4BPJ.
BPJ, and she said Park to Park. If Connor was there first, I'm gonna take Connor first. I'm gonna ask Park to Park to stand by. If you ask them to stand by, they'll usually wait. Some people will not wait, they'll just go on. Okay.
They usually answer quickly.
Like, oh, yeah. I mean, there could be 40 people calling. She's gonna win. See this little box right here? Let's say I wanted to work, some of the parks are 5 digits now because they've added so many parks. And you can get a park added by going to the Kentucky State Coordinator. If you operate from like a WMA and you find out it's not on the approved list, you can ask him to add it. So I don't know if I work US 4404. Oops. Look, me, you can tell my laptop, look, not hunting. You can tell my laptop is touchscreen, not hunting. So hey, that'd be fair game, I don't do that all the time because I really don't care. But some people do care. And probably like that guy that was looking for all the Kentucky sites. If he clicked on it, he's already operated, it'd probably be relevant to him. Okay, in the left, you see these 3 lines up here? Now this is where I'm going to speed along because you can look at all this yourself. Add a spot. That could be you. That's going to be you. Add an activation. You would schedule your activation. Say you knew you're going to go Saturday. You go ahead and put it in there so people can look if they want to. Spots. That's the spots you see. Activations. The map just shows you a map of the U.S. You can scroll around. But this is your approved park list right here, okay? So this could be very relevant to you. But you're gonna start with the A's. You're gonna page down to the United States to get approved your approved parks. They're all listed. Then you go to the state and get all the Kentucky parks. Filter it down. Yeah, to see if you want to go, if the park you're going to is on the list. This will show you the top activators. There was a guy on there today had 498,000 contacts.
Who's the guy with the coffee all the time?
I don't know.
How you think?
I probably talked to him though. Top hunters are people like I saw some that had 30, 40,000 contacts. Official events, that's where you find out what official events they have. And click on here and it'll show you your awards. So you can click on that. Oops. So you can see all these awards I've won, like 1,000 different units, and this is the name of the certificates. And you can see it shows you did it with phone. And this is one of, I've got 24 different awards just since I've been so you can see that there's a lot of different awards that you can get. And I'm not a big operator, folks. I'm really not. Now let's go into the upper right-hand corner. Remember, if you're not signed in, this is where it'll say sign in, sign out. I can view my profile that I created when I signed in. It's very basic information. Show your awards, show your stats. I almost did it again. Let's look at stats. Because you're going to have these even if you've hunted from home. If they've submitted those logs, you're going to have stats. I've made 1,315 phone contacts for a total of 1,315. You can see I've got a lot, 58 in Canada, 1 in Alaska, so on and so forth. So it'll show you your stats. Of course, if you do CW, it shows you all the bands. So
it's more than 2 meters.
yeah, I've worked 5 2-meter, 1 10-meter, 611.20, 698.40. So you can see that's where most activity is. Finish this up. I'm not going to dwell on this. My hunter log, that's the people I've hunted. My log uploads. This is important. When you convert your log to ADIF, you're going to go to my log uploads. You save that file into ADIF. Save it to your, I don't care where, documents, desktop. You're going to click right here and it will let you select that file, that ADIF file, to populate this box. Or you can do it manually if you care to. And then you go down here a little bit lower. And when you enter that information, that's when it'll say down here, I agree that my log is submitted correct and I'm following the POTA rules. Click the box, then it'll click submit log. It'll go into processing. You can see all these are processed. It'll go into processing and very quickly it'll be accepted if you did everything right. If you make one mistake on your log and enter data incorrectly in any way, it will not accept your log. It will only tell you there's a problem. You have to figure out what that problem is.
We'll accept your.
It won't accept any of it. It'll kick it right back to you. That's when you have to go in and, like the first time I ever did POTA, I forgot to put the dash, like US 1234. I just didn't put the dash in. I had to go back in and put all the dashes in. Plus,
You'd be like me, call Keith, and we spent 3 days trying to figure out what all.
when your computer asks you to title a document that you save, you have to be very precise on that title. Like if I'm at US 1234, I got to put first. This is all capitals, and you can look this up. It's in the information on the left. You don't have to remember it now. The log title must be precise. No spaces, no dashes. K04BWJ, my call at US 1234 2024 09. What is today? 19. That's the date. The year, month, day.
Also, you're behind with Park.
So that can be a problem. I also had trouble with that the first time I activated. If anybody has any problem, all you have to do is call me or text me. I walked Don and Corbett through some issues or helped him. Ron was able to get his done, but he got kicked out. But he went back and found out what he'd done wrong. So you have to be very precise on that. No, you can do it a year later, but it's really being responsible to do it soon. Yeah, they get credit. I mean, I've heard people say, well, I never got credit. Well, you can't make a hunter or you can't make an activator log. They have to be responsible.
Yeah, I still don't have Alaska because 2 people went up there and did logging.
Yeah, I got Mount McKinley in Alaska, and the guy said QSL. I got all 50 states QSL cards. That's the way I chose to do it, the old-fashioned way. He was on Mount McKinley. It said he QSL'd every time, and he didn't send me a card. Did mine make it there? Who knows? We got the U.S. mail involved. So again, POTA's a personal quest. You can participate. Helps you practice portable. Try to make as many contacts as possible. You might try to get all the parks in the state, or you may have some other goal. You might want to be the leader of the pack, like Mike Mullins is at several parks. That might be your thing. Like I said, I just go to have fun. I don't really have a goal. You can do it just to earn the awards because, as I said, they're numerous. You can have an entire wall of POTA certificates. I don't. I've got a few in a file. I do have my 50 state on the wall because that's something I always wanted. And no problem to print those in color. If you want a really good copy, just put it on photo paper. Any questions?
I have one observation.
Go ahead, sir.
We're talking APRS. I see some people that go to POTA sites they peek at HCRC from their.
Yeah, they try to spot themselves that way too.
They'll put, they'll put, I'm at, whatever.
Yep.
Anybody on HCRC sees it. I don't know if it's extra advertisement, but I see that.
Well, I've got from the same contact, I've got POTA, SOTA, and IOTA. Islands on there, summits on there, parks on there, because all of they qualify. They're on a mountain that's in a park that's on an island.
They're different organizations.
Yeah, you have to log through those websites, but you might get SOTA and IOTA too. You might get lighthouses on the air. You never know. You might get special event stations contact you because they want the contact. So if you're in a park and you want to activate, and the fans are just so crowded that you can't find a spot where you feel comfortable, hunt other parks from your park and do park to park, because you'll be able to get them. You don't have to find an open frequency to do park to park. Some of our park to park guys, do you have anything to add? Y'all have anything to add that I might?
Did a good job. Are you kidding me?
Okay, well, that's the basics. You'll learn a lot more by going to that 3 lines on the left.
My name's been all over.
I wanted to ask you when you were there, but didn't play.
That's okay.
You can do parks on the air with everything except Simplex. Is that what you said?
No, if you do VHF or UHF parks on there, it must be simplex. Yeah, that doesn't come into play on HF though.
It's HF.
The thing to remember is, like he said, you can't use a repeater to do POTA.
What?
You cannot use you couldn't be at Griffith Woods and use our repeater to contact Rick to get a contact. You have to talk to him directly, like we do on our simplex net. No repeaters.
You could, however, get on the 10-meter repeater. Could, however, get on the repeater.
Yeah,
We've done that.
you can get on the repeater and say, "Hey, I'm doing POTA on 535. Come get me. I'll be on there for 30 minutes." Yeah, I'll text you. I like. No, you go. I don't
I
have.
was gonna say, like Brent, when he goes behind Discord server and advertise it, it's just
There's all kinds of ways to get yourself out
he'll
there.
spot himself on 2 or 3 different platforms, and that you got 100 contacts on your.
I get automatic notification when CJ, Connor, myself, maybe some others. If they're doing POTA, I've got ham alert. It automatically pops up on my phone.
State's gonna have me muted, it won't know.
Just remember, something I've started doing with this HCRC thing that we're doing is it's a really neat way of knowing whether there's local openings. On the bid opening, because you'll see all of a sudden, yeah, you can reach out in an area. And it's more accurate than doing, your store, at least. Oh, yeah.
I don't want to wear it to the house.
Let me tell you,
I was tell what weird.
I was preaching one day, okay, and I had one of those wireless microphones on, and I went to the bathroom. Whoops.
the whole time?
Only did it once.
One more thing. Anybody? Do POTA? I take somebody with me. I don't concentrate on making 300 copies. I concentrate on making enough that they can submit a log. I can submit a log, and they can learn a little more about POTA. So I'm open to people going.
Great presentation, Keith. That was really, really, really good. It was excellent. Anything else, folks, before we go? So just a reminder, everybody knows, but I think you guys were here. Well, you weren't here. We had our fox hunt was scheduled for tomorrow, and it's been delayed. Okay. We're going to do a presentation, a tech talk on fox hunt at our next club meeting. And then we're going to have November is going to be the fox hunt. So we weren't able to schedule enough people to do it tomorrow. So we decided to delay it, but it also gave us an opportunity to do kind of like a POTA presentation. We'll do a fox hunt presentation, a tech talk.
And I'm gonna contact Ron and see if he can do that. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about, yeah. We'll talk about the schedule, but yeah. So we haven't actually set the date. We just said November. So anything else? I appreciate it.